So we have the abstract class A. Inside that we have the abstract method plus concrete method. So B is a subclass of superclass A, which is an abstract class. So in this C, when you write the method where there is no code, what we have to do is we have to write the same method by writing the code for that. I hope you people are getting this sentence. If you look at this sentence, there is no code. See, when you don't write the code, that is called as no implementation. See, whenever you plan the work, you have to implement it. If you don't implement the work, then planning is waste. In real world, I'm giving one example. For example, if you prepare the study timetable, if you don't implement, preparing study timetable is waste, like that. Okay, similarly, when you write the method without a code, see this line indicates no code. They're telling in the comments, they're telling no code because I ended the function with semicolon. So I have not extended the method. Then this is of no use. For this, what we have to do, we have to write the code. So where we have to write the code? See, if you write the code here only, that means if you remove the semicolon and if you start writing the code here only, then that will not be called as abstract class. So you have to remove this abstract keyword. It is not called as an abstract method. We have to discuss about abstract method. That means we have to implement the concept of abstract method. Plus, we have to write the code for that. Okay. So now they are telling no code. Then where we have to write the code? In class A, we should not write. Okay, because if you write in class A, it will not be called as abstract method. In the next class, we should write. That is where you are extending the class. So where you are extending for class B, you are extending. So class B is a subclass. In subclass, you have to write. So in subclass, I'm writing the code. When you write the code, you don't change the type signature. This is called as type signature. Return type, method name. This is called as type signature. And when you write the type signature, that's first line of the function. Here you don't need to include abstract, because when you write abstract word here also, then code should not be present. Okay, when you write abstract word here, so this code should not be present. So wherever abstract word is there, code should not be present. Okay, so here don't write the abstract keyword here. That means we are implementing that method. Implementation means when you write some code within opening brace and closing brace, that part is called as implementation of a code. Okay, so we are implementing. So some code we are writing here inside call me method. Okay, next. We will see how it executes. So in main method, see this program is very small, but we have to learn the concept of abstract class and abstract method. Okay. Now you see, I have created the object of class B. So this line indicates the creation of object of class B, but not the object of class A, because class A is an abstract class. So for abstract class, they are telling you should not create object. Okay. For abstract class, you should not create object. And I don't know about object reference. In the future, we will see whether we can create an object reference or not. Why they have said object, we should not create object for abstract class means, when I say A is equals to new A, okay, they're telling like new keyword you should not use. When you use new keyword, you are instantiating the class, that is, you are instantiating the object. When you instantiate the object or a class, then new memory is created. But according to the explanation what they are giving, there can be no objects of an abstract class. That is, an object class, abstract class cannot be directly instantiated with the new operator. When you write a new operator for a class, you are creating the memory for the object. So this is not allowed. So I cannot write this line. Okay, directly I can write the object of B. That is, object of B is nothing but it is subclass. So capital letter B is a class name, small letter b is an object name. Okay, and new B is a constructor name. Capital letter B with parenthesis is the constructor name. So this will create the object B. I can see here object B is created. Okay. Fine. So when object B is created, it should call the constructor. So in the class B, there is no default constructor. That means we have not written any default constructor. Okay. Simply this line statement will be executed by considering the default constructor, which is supplied from the Java program itself, Java language itself. Next, B dot call me. Okay. When you look at this line, it will call the method call me. Of which class? Of class B, not of class A, because in class A for call me method there is no code only. So if there is no code, you cannot call that method. If code is present, you have to call the method. So for call me method where code is present, in class B it is present. So when this line is executed, B dot call me is executed, it will call the method call me which is present in class B. And call me to, why they have considered this method is, if you consider about only abstract method, we get a question whether we can write the methods which is not abstract. Yes, we can write the methods which is not abstract. So you see the method call me to, this is the method which is not abstract, which is written in abstract class. So in abstract class, you can write a method which is abstract. You can write a method which is not abstract. If you write a method which is not abstract, that is called as concrete methods. And you can call this method in class B because inheritance concept. Okay, B is a subclass of A, right? Because B is a subclass of A, this method you can call in class B. So only I'm using the object of class B to call me to. Okay, I'm using the object of class B to call me method as well as call me to. Call me to is actually present in class A, but I'm using in class B because inheritance concept. Okay, we will see this memory representation and diagram. Okay. See, B is equals to new B. When this line is executed, the object B is created. Class B extends a void call me. See, actual code is present in class B. In class A only it is abstract. Okay. And when I say B dot call me, it will call the method which is present in class B. Right? It will call the method which is present in class B. Okay. Next. B dot call me to. When you execute the line, that is when the line B dot call me to is executed, you just look at the arrow. Program control will move to the abstract class A where call me method is present. Okay. Even though object B, small letter b belongs to class B only, but still you can access the method which is present in class A because B extends A. B is a subclass of A, so only you can access this method. Okay, this method we will get it in class B. Okay. So this is the output of the program. So B is implementation of call me. So println statement. This is a concrete method. So println statement of call me to. Okay. So you can look at the program and memory representation and output. If you come across any doubt, you can ask. So notice that no objects of class A are declared in the program. As mentioned, it is not possible to instantiate an abstract class. Another point, class A implements a concrete method called me to. This is perfectly acceptable. Abstract classes can include as much implementation as they fit. Although abstract classes cannot be used to instantiate objects, they can be used to create object references because Java's approach to runtime polymorphism is implemented through the use of superclass references. Thus, it must be possible to create a reference to an abstract class so that it can be used to point to the subclass object. So in the previous explanation, what did I say is like, there can be no objects of an abstract class. Okay, so they have said like this, but you look at the next sentence, that is an abstract class cannot be directly instantiated with the new operator. See, whenever we come across the new operator in a creation of an object, then we can say actual object is created. Actual object means we get the memory. Okay, wherever new operator is used, we can say actual object is created, we get the new memory. If suppose, if I don't use the new operator, if I say, for example, if I delete these two words, okay, I'm not using new operator, but still if I create an object, what happens? In that case, what happens? It is said that object reference. See, we have come across concepts like this, like two things, object and object reference. In case of actual object, we have to use new keyword. In case of object reference, there is no need to use new keyword, object reference. See, in this entire explanation, they said only about actual object. For abstract class, you cannot create object by using new operator. But about object reference, we have not spoke here. Like in this explanation, they didn't say about object reference. But in this paragraph, we will see whether we can create an object reference or not. We came to know actual objects are not created by using abstract classes. But what about object reference? Because for a class, two things are there, object and object reference. When you use new keyword, actual object is created. We are getting the memory. If you don't use the new keyword, object reference is created. For example, in the previous program, you see figure FREF. Here FREF is an object reference. It is not actual object, it is object reference. Whereas rectangle R is equals to new rectangle, this is actual object. R is a actual object because new keyword is there. Okay. Now, coming to this abstract classes, notice that notice that no objects of class A are declared in the program. As mentioned, it is not possible to instantiate an abstract class. Not possible to instantiate meaning is not possible to create actual object. Instantiate meaning object here. Okay, to instantiate a class means to create an object. Not possible to instantiate is not possible to create an actual object. So one other point, a class A implements a concrete method called me2. This is perfectly acceptable. Yes, that we came to know. Abstract classes can include as much as implementation as they fit. Although abstract classes cannot be used to instantiate objects, that means to create an actual object by using new keyword, they can be used to create object reference. So this point you have to understand. We cannot create the actual object, but we can create the object reference without using new keyword. Okay, because Java's approach to runtime polymorphism is implemented through the use of superclass references. That is, it must be possible to reference to an abstract class so that it can be used to point to a subclass object. So here we will see how we can create an object reference of the superclass and how we are referring from subclass object. Okay. Okay. Next, abstract class figure. See what we have discussed about the class figure, rectangle, triangle. Same concept they are using here. By using abstract class, we will see what they are using here. So dimension 1, dimension 2, two variables. Area is now abstract method. See in the previous program where we have used class figure, rectangle, triangle, you see here. For class figure, in class figure only for area method, some code is present. Okay, if you look at this example, for area method, some code is present here. But when you look at the abstract class here, here, for area method, code is not present. If the code is not present means what is the meaning? It is an abstract. Whenever for a method, if code is not present, it is an abstract method. So where code will be present? In the subclasses. It's very simple. If the code is not present in the superclass, its code will be present in subclasses. So in rectangle, for area method, code is present. In triangle, for area method, code is present. Okay. Now, in rectangle, we are making use of dimension 1 and dimension 2 variables from superclass because inheritance concept. So because rectangle is a subclass of class figure, so we can use variables, instance variables of superclass. Similarly, in triangle also, we are making use of dimension 1 and dimension 2 variables because triangle is a subclass of figure. Okay. Next, see in both the classes, rectangle and triangle, we are writing the code for area. That is implementation. We are doing implementation of area, okay, which is an abstract method in superclass. So in main method, so what we will say. Okay. See, I have made it as a set here. Set means like object creation, object reference, and printing the area value. Again, object reference and printing the area value. We will see what it is actually. Okay. First line, figure f equal to new figure, invalid, because you cannot use new keyword for abstract class. Figure is an abstract class, so you cannot use new keyword. Okay, fine. Next, rectangle R is equals to new rectangle of 9,5. Yes, it is possible because rectangle is not an abstract class. If it is not an abstract class, you can use the new keyword. Triangle T is triangle T equal to new triangle of 10,8. Yes, it is possible because new keyword is used for normal classes, which is not an abstract class. See, how will you come to know abstract classes means like before writing the class name, you have to use the abstract keyword, abstract class of figure. So figure is an abstract class. But whereas for rectangle and triangle, I have not used the abstract keyword. So those two classes are not abstract classes. So you can create the objects. Next, figure F or F. This is okay. Object reference is created. See, for an abstract class, actual object is not allowed. Creation of actual object is not allowed. That means new keyword you cannot use. But object reference you can create. Okay. See that only there. Figure is a class name, that is abstract class. F or F is a object reference. If you extend this statement like this, figure, then you should not say F or F is the object reference. You should say it is an actual object. But this line is invalid because new keyword you should not use for abstract classes. Okay. So you have to write only object references. So we have to stop here. This is okay, object reference is created. See, once you create an object reference, it is very, very simple. You can use that object reference to refer to the objects of other class also. Okay, once you create an object reference, you can use that object reference to refer to the objects of other class. Objects of other class means other classes here are two subclasses, rectangle and triangle. For rectangle, we got the object R. For triangle, we got the object T. Now use this object reference FRF to refer to rectangle and triangle. So before you you calculate the area, that means before you call the method area, what you do, first time you refer to rectangle, next time you refer to triangle. See, if you refer to rectangle, then then if you say frf dot area, it will call the area method present in rectangle class. If you refer to triangle, then if you use area method, it will call the area method present in the triangle class. So this concept we know already from the previous program, but here we are looking how we can do with abstract classes also. Okay. Okay. So when we look at the diagram, so when object R is created, we get the values 9 and 5 for the variables dimension 1 and dimension 2. And when object T is created, we get the values 10 and 8 for variables dimension and dimension 2 for object T. And when you call frf dot area, when frf is referred to rectangle class, it will call the method present in rectangle. When it is referred to triangle class, it will call the method present in triangle. Okay, so in this way we can make use of the abstract class object reference. Okay, so you can look at this diagram. So wherever you see system.println area is frf dot area, you should see which method is called, because area method is implemented in rectangle class and triangle class. So when you say frf equal to R, you are referring to rectangle class. So frf dot area will call the area method present inside the rectangle class. And when you say frf equal to T, you are referring to triangle class. So area method is called, which is present in the triangle class. Okay, and output is printed. So output is same as the last but one program. Okay, but the way we have written is different. Okay, in the last but one program, there was no abstract class and abstract method concept. Here there is a concept of abstract class and abstract method. Okay, so you can look at the program. So if you come across any doubts, you can ask. Okay, so although it is not possible to create an object of type figure, you can create a reference variable of type figure. The variable frf is declared as a reference to figure, which means that it can be used to refer to an object of any class derived from figure. As explained, it is through superclass references variables that overridden methods are resolved at runtime. Okay, so in the previous program they are telling about superclass object reference can be used to refer to the objects of subclasses. Okay. Next, using final to prevent using final with inheritance. Okay. So final is a keyword which works similar to the const keyword in C and C++. So in case of C and C++, we come across the word const, C-O-N-S-T. So the use of this const keyword is, if suppose if I say const float pi is equals to 3.14. Okay, when you assign the value 3.14 to the value pi, and if you are telling it is a constant, because we know that pi value is constant in mathematics. So if I want to use this value in programming language, I can declare like this: const float pi is equal to 3.14. So this value remains constant throughout the program. Even if you try to change in the next line, you will get error. For example, if I say pi is equals to 5, in the next line, you will get an error. Okay. The use of const keyword is making the identifier value constant. So you don't call this pi as a variable here. So variable and constant both are opposite. Constant is a value which you do not change. Variable is a value which can change. So some people will be saying, if I ask a question, what is a constant? Constant is a variable which will not change its value. It is a contradictory word. Like I cannot say constant is a variable or variable is a constant. Both are contradictory. So how you have to define means constant is an identifier which stores a value which will not change. Variable is an identifier which stores a value which can change. Which can change means it has the option to change. The word variation itself indicates which has a variation means what? Changing. Okay. So whenever you are asked a question like what is a constant, don't say constant is a variable. And when you ask a question variable means variable is, don't say variable is a constant. Don't start the sentence with constant is a variable or variable is a constant. Start the sentence with constant is an identifier. Variable is an identifier. Okay. So in case of Java, instead of CONST, we use the keyword called as final. Okay, final means value is fixed, okay, which cannot be changed. But final keyword, in addition to the variable, sorry, in addition to the identifiers where values are fixed, for other purpose also it is used. That we will see in this chapter. Okay, the keyword final has three uses. First, it can be used to create the equivalent of a named constant. As I said, in case of C and C++, we will create constants, right? Same way, you can create a constant in Java by using final keyword. The other two uses of final apply to inheritance. See, I said, in addition to the creation of constant values by using final keyword, other two uses are, it is applied to inheritance concept, okay? That we will see now. Using final to prevent method overriding. So while method overriding is one of Java's most powerful features, there will be times when you will want to prevent it from occurring. To disallow a method from being overridden, specify final as a modifier at the start of its declaration. Methods declared as final cannot be overridden. The meaning of method overriding we know, right? The meaning of method overriding is like if we are writing a method in superclass, same name we can use in subclass, and once again we can change the code, right? Method overriding means changing the code of the method which is already present in superclass. But in case of final keyword, what happens now? If suppose if I don't write this final keyword, then whatever the thing you are writing is correct, because this is a method, it is defined in superclass, and again I am writing the code for the method in subclass. Yes, it is allowed because there is a method overriding concept. Now, I don't want to do like this. That means once defined in superclass, I don't want to change the code of the method. I don't want to apply the concept of method overriding. What we have to do is, before you write the method in superclass, you make it as final. You write it as final keyword. When you write final keyword, so see, here you will get an error. So they are telling error, can't override. That means this code you cannot change. Whatever the code is written for the method in class A, it is fixed. So final means the meaning itself tells. Say, what is the meaning of final? After that, there will be nothing. So it is final. So like that here also. Final means you cannot change the code of the method in subclass. So only they are telling using final to prevent overriding. See, these are all the demonstration programs. In projects, you will come to know how it is used. See, if you just look at this example, what is the big thing here? Just I'm using final and I cannot write the code. Yes, error is there. But in projects, you will come to know where these actual concepts are applied. Okay, method overriding and when method overriding is avoided, like that. Okay. Explanation we will see. Because method is declared as final, METH is declared as final, it can't be overridden in B. If you attempt to do so, compile time error will result. Normally, Java resolves calls to method dynamically at runtime. This is called late binding. However, since final methods cannot be overridden, a call to one can be resolved at compile time. This is called early binding. See, about early binding and late binding in C++ I have discussed. Okay, one class I have taken. So that recorded video I'll send you. What is the meaning of early binding and late binding with explanation. We just go through the meanings of early binding and late binding with explanation. We'll get it. The meaning of early binding, late definition, as well as concept of early binding and late binding. Okay. Using final to prevent inheritance. See, in addition to the defining constant values by using final keyword, two more uses they are telling. What are those two more uses? Two more uses in this sense, Properties. Properties means using final keyword, you can avoid method overriding, you can prevent method overriding. One more thing is even you can avoid inheritance, also you can avoid it. Okay. Sometimes we want to prevent a class from being inherited. To do this, we have to precede the class declaration with final. Declaring the class as final implicitly declares all of its methods as final. So it is illegal to declare a class as both abstract and final, since an abstract class is incomplete by itself and relies upon its subclasses to provide complete implementation. Here is an example. See, when you say class itself as final, before you write a class name, if you write the keyword final, you cannot inherit that class. So class B extends, say this line becomes wrong. So you cannot say B is a subclass here, subclass of here, because you have written the final keyword. Okay. So when you say method as final, you cannot override the method. Method overriding you cannot apply. When you say class as final, inheritance you cannot apply. These are the other two properties of final keyword. Okay. So you will get an error. Now, if you want to write class B extends here, you just remove this final word from class A. Then this line is correct. Okay. If you write final word in class A, then this line is wrong. That means inheritance concept you cannot apply. Okay. See, as the comments imply, it is illegal for B to inherit A since A is declared as final. Okay. So this is about final keyword. See, next topic is only about the theoretical. There is nothing logic. So just I will tell you about this, because today we will complete this inheritance chapter. Okay. So still 3 minutes is there. We will do it. Object class. See, in programming language, in Java programming language, one class is there, one inbuilt class is there. That class name itself is object. Okay, that class name itself is object. So there is one special class object defined in defined by Java. All other classes and subclasses of object, that is object is superclass of all other classes. This means that a reference variable of type object can refer to an object to any other class. Also, since arrays are implemented as classes, a variable of type object can also refer to an array. Say about this table and a little bit explanation of the table I will tell in the next class before I start the new chapter. Okay. So still 2.5 minutes is there. So if you people have any doubts, you can ask. Okay. So in the next class, I will start the new chapter.
ಹಲೋ ಅಣ್ಣ, ಈಗ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಈಗ ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಫೈನಲ್, ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಪ್ರಿಸೀಡ್ ಫೈನಲ್ ಇನ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಇನ್ ಸೂಪರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ವಿ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಓವರ್ ರೈಡಿಂಗ್, ಕೋಡ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಪ್ರಿಸೀಡ್ final before class super class, so we cannot inherit the super class ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರ ಅಣ್ಣ. ಇದು ಸೂಪರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಫೈನಲ್ ಅಂತ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದೇ ಕೋಡ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಬ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಒಳಗ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೊಂತದ ಹೆಂಗಣ್ಣ?
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಫೈನಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ.
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಣ್ಣ, ಮೆಥಡ್ ಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೂಪರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫೈನಲ್ ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಿಸೀಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕೋಡ್ ಬರ್ದ್ರೆ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅದೇ ಫೈನಲ್ ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಿಸೀಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಅದೇ ಕೋಡ್ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೊಂತ ಏನಂತ ಸಬ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಫೈನಲ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೂಪರ್ ಫೈನಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರಿ, ಕೋಡ್ ಐತೆ ಅದೇ ಮೆಥಡ್ ತಗೊಂತ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಂತ. ನಾವೇನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಡಾಟ್ ಔಟ್ ಡಾಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಂಗೆ ಏನ್ ಬರೆಯೋದು ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಕೋಡ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ.
ಅದೇ ಡೌಟ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಣ್ಣ. ಅದೇ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾ ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನ್ ಕೋಡ್ ಅಂತ ಡೌಟ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಇದು ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಫೈನಲ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಬ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಏನಾನ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಡೌಟ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೇಳಿದೆ.
ಓಕೆ ಫೈನ್. ಅದೇ ಕೋಡ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಅದೇ ಫೈನಲ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡೋದು, ಅದೇ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಫೈನಲ್.
ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸಬ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದಾ ಅಣ್ಣ ಇದ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಲಿಂದ ಫೈನಲ್ ಇದ್ರಲಿಂದ? ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಸಿ, ಸಬ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಸಿ.
ಹಾ
ಅದೇ ಮಲ್ಟಿ
ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟಾದ್ರೂ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡು, ಬಟ್ ಓವರ್ ರೈಡಿಂಗ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಓವರ್ ರೈಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ.
ಓಕೆ.
ಸೊ ನಾಳೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್, ನಾಳೆ ನಡೆದ್ ಬೇಡ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್, ಸಂಡೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಲೈಕ್
ಸಾಟರ್ಡೆ ಅಣ್ಣ ನಾಳೆ.
ಇರ್ಲಿ ಬಿಡು, ಮಂಡೇ ಟು ಫ್ರೈಡೇ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ 5 days ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್.
ಓಕೆ ಅಣ್ಣ, ಓಕೆ.
ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಒಂದೆರಡು ದಿನ ನೀವು ಓದ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ. ಓಕೆ
ಸರಿ ಅಣ್ಣ, ಓಕೆ.
ಏನೋ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ವಾಟ್ಸಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಫೋನ್ ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ
ಇದು ಜಾವಾದು ಇಲ್ಲ